Hey friends, today we are working on a couple of Seadoo 3Ds actually, putting in a new fuel pump on each of them. I did the one on the other one already and turns out that that might not have actually been the issue, but we'll get to that. So of course these trays, they sit in there like that and like that. They're easy to pop out. Clip there, clip there. You don't even really need to release any of this stuff. I think there's only just these two clips. Pop that out. And of course you just pull that out, a little bit of Velcro if anything, maybe a rubber seal of some sort, but yeah, they're not screwed in or anything. And then you come in here. These have very easy access, probably easier than a lot of the other ones because of, you know, this hole right here. So then I start with taking everything off the top first. Of course you pull that off, pop that out, loosen this here, or hose clamp with a flat screwdriver. Pull that hose off. I just kind of put it aside in there. And then this here, you just pinch the top and the bottom. And that pops off just like that. Same thing, we'll just put it aside a little bit there. This is a clamp for your fuel filter. If you wanted to take that off, you could even just pop that in there, pull that off, and this thing is just gonna, it's spring loaded, so it'll come off. But anyway, we don't need to do that. The fuel filter's in there. I don't think we're going to change that. I'll blow through it when we have it off here. But yeah, you can see some of them I took off already, but we got these 8 mils here, and then you're left with these washers on top. We're going to take all those off as well. Lay them over here with my other ones. And then take this, you do that with all of these, of course. Take it all apart. There, now you can see I got all them screws off. Just got to be careful. This one, I don't know if they had just broke a bunch of the rubbers already or if they had replaced some of them already. Looks like one of these nuts is different anyhow. And I guess before I go on, I was taking this, I was doing this because I had an issue where it would start, run fine, drive fine for about 5 minutes, and then it would just bog out like it wasn't getting fuel. And sure enough, the way to diagnose it, I ended up just coming up here and pulling my fuel line off. Same concept, you just pinch the tab there and on the other side, pop it off. And if you want to cycle the pump once quick, you just put your key in once and it'll come on once for about a second, 2 seconds. And then you could tell how much pressure you had. And I waited till it bogged out again, and then I quickly stopped. I pulled over and I put the key in once, and it was just barely dribbling out. And that's why I was doing this. I figured, well, maybe the fuel pumps are no good, even though these supposedly had new fuel pumps put in when I got them. But it turns out that that wasn't necessarily the issue, and I will get to that. It turns out there's a little valve. It's like a little circle with 4 notches, you know, 4/4 circles in it that let the fuel in. There's a little rubber washer in there, and then another washer on top that's supposed to, I guess, pop up when there's suction and just drop down and plug it when there's not. That was seized in there, and now it wasn't letting fuel anymore. We're gonna see if this one's the same way. To pull this out, probably easiest, you gotta be careful. I find that you pop this over the edge there like that, and then you got to remember this is going to be full of fuel in there, and you've got your float in there as well, so you got to be real careful. You don't want to break that. So when you pull this out here, let's carefully lift it up. It's a little tougher doing it all by yourself, but anyway, we'll get it. We'll get it. And then I'll try to more or less pour this fuel back in there somewhat. I probably missed half of it, but anyway. So that's your screen on the bottom, and you just pop in there with a little screwdriver, get in on the inside there where you see it there, and pop that off. And then there's another one on the inside. Now getting these out is a bit of a pain, but anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. So you squeeze, first you want to disconnect these, and you stick a little screwdriver in each notch, that side and that side. And those are hooks actually. What you see on the outside are hooks. And you pop those out, you unplug that. And this one's pretty obvious. I mean, you can see, you pop screwdriver in there, and you pop that apart. I will do that real quick, and then you just squeeze these in, all three, because they're just locked in with those there. And then the whole thing pops out, of course, the spring in there. Let's do that. So there you have that. Got it popped out of there. It's kind of a pain actually. Let's pull this up and set that aside somewhere safe. I'll just put it on its tripod legs there. And then got your fuel pump in there. Let's take that spring off, put it there with that. And you got your extension tube here, but let's see if we can use that extension tube to help wiggle the pump out. Here, let's see. Just grab this. Let's see if you can wiggle the pump out. I'll see if I can do this. So that came out pretty easy. I used a little bit of tension on the wires too, just to help. You don't want to put much because you don't want to pull those out. And of course you have this plastic piece there. You just take that off. For now, this pump actually looks new. The other one was a little bit corroded and stuff already. I can't tell what brand this one is. It doesn't say up top. I'll probably just change it anyway, because this one's probably been sitting in a vacuum in that cylinder for far too long. Now, for some reason, this time, that screen at the bottom and that rubber did not come out with the rest of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get to that problem that I was talking about. We're going to lay this right here. I don't know if gasoline's going to hurt my setup here or not. Hopefully not. But yeah, hopefully I can get that to stay there. I could always just lay it down too, I'm sure. But anyway, leave that spring there as well. And then you can take this, you just take this tube off, you just grab it firmly, and then of course it's just on there with a rubber. So you can pop that off the pump. I wish I could show you real easy, but I can't. And then what we're gonna do, sorry about that, I was just getting a phone call here. We're gonna pop that screen off. There, that came off pretty easy. And that is nasty. Look at that. My goodness, that's nasty dirty. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna very gently see if we can top that out. I'm probably just gonna take it out. You see the red there? That was the problem with the other one. It wasn't letting fuel in anymore. And then it would just enough to eventually fill this up, I guess, and then it would run for a little bit and then it wouldn't anymore. So we're actually gonna pop that out gently with a screwdriver or something else. If you had something round you could fit in, that would be better, but let's even see if we can tap that out. And at the same time, it'll push that screen out as well. So there we go. We got that junk out. Man, that was a nasty mess down in there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's nasty down there. And there's that little rubber washer that you can see, and it was also seized in there. That's just some of the junk that came out when we tapped it out. Had to find a screwdriver skinny enough. I actually had to grind a screwdriver down to get it skinny enough. And I think, just like last time, I think I'm just going to leave this washer and rubber out. I can't imagine what purpose it really serves. Why would you want to stop fuel getting in this cylinder? So I'm going to wash this, because look at how nasty that is. I'm going to rinse that out, and we're going to replace this. You got to keep in mind there's a little retaining pin on the pump now, I suppose, right there. There you have it. That little retainer on there. You put this rubber on first. It can only go on one way. You'll see it. You can't mess it up. And then you got to pop that on. And then you can see that rubber only goes on the screen only goes on the rubber one way. Your new kit should come with all the screens and everything that you need in there, as well as your new pump, of course. And yeah, put the new screen on. It has a new rubber as well. This kit anyway. This is a Chemso kit, just went off of Amazon that I got. And again, I don't think my pump is actually bad. I'm going to hold on to that as a backup pump, but I don't think my pump was actually bad. I think it was in fact just that stupid thing being seized in there. Let's move all that out of the way. This is the washer and the rubber. That is why it looks red from the underneath when you look through it. And that sits down in there. So sorry for this unorganized video here, but when I replace all that, do backwards, same way. Again, this screen, you can kind of tell how it's supposed to sit on there. And this one, it's kind of the same idea. It only really sits on the pump one way because of all the notches and stuff. And remember, put that retainer back on once you've got the rubber back on there. I've just pulled it through, I suppose, and reverse it. I'm going to pull this off the old pump, or this pump anyway in this case, pop it on the new one, make sure that goes on top, and make sure when you're popping that back on again with the spring and everything that it lines up there, otherwise you're going to push that rubber in there. Other than that, I think that is it. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask, and as always, may God bless you.